Hello.
Everyone, and welcome to the Trekle Trunk.
Good evening, all.
With Davan and Dave, aka Plain Simple Tailors, and Heather Cusey Narduzzi.
I love it. I've gotten a lot of variations on Narduzzi, but never Cusey. I will take it.
All right, good, because it's in writing now.
I know.
That's
It's true now.
That must mean it's true.
Your name is in lights.
And on the internet, so
we're on Broadway, baby. Are we? All right, and we're here to review. We're pulling out of the Trekle Trunk tonight IDW's Star Trek Lower Decks number 1 and 2. I probably should have qualified that it's the 2025 Lower Decks number 1 and 2, not 2024's.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not number 1, it's the second number 1.
Yes, not the Dracula story, which they do reference in this.
I do like that.
And
we covered that here on the Trekle Trunk. So
I didn't read the previous ones. I didn't even know those were a thing. So
lucky for you, you can just go back and check out the Trekle Trunk.
I could.
That's true. We'll walk you through.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. It
was
four
good
issues.
fun stories.
Really good though.
Yeah, I mean, once again, they've beautifully captured the art. Happy New Year, Sam. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, all Trek fans.
Yeah, so I mean, once again, they've captured the art style of the series brilliantly.
Mm-hmm.
Davan and I were commenting. I don't know if you found the same thing just before we started, that both of us find that, and I think this could rely on, in a certain sense, the translation from animation on screen to comic book art, that their voices come through really powerfully. I read all the character dialogue sort of with the voices popping right out.
Oh yeah,
me too. It's like an episode.
Yeah,
yeah. I thought it was really well done as well.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I read all the characters in the voices, and I mean, I try to do it with other comics too. But for the X-Men, I read it in the animated series voices. But yeah, it's great, and it's a great continuation of the show, because the show, of course, is now over. And I love Lower Decks as much as anyone on our network here. Perhaps if you even look at the ratings, perhaps more than everyone else, because my ratings were always the highest. I love Lower Decks. But I think the sting of losing it, I may not be feeling quite as hard as some others. And I think it may be because I'm a comic reader and I get to read these comics. So that kind of softens the blow a bit. Because it is billed as an ongoing. The last one was just a mini. It was just 4 issues. And it was always planned to be. Mm-hmm. But this is an ongoing series. So people keep buying them. I bet you they keep making them.
Well, yeah. I don't see why not. And the artwork is really beautiful. As you said, it captures the show quite well. Now, I have cover A. Do you also have cover A, or do you have a different cover?
No, I have over here.
I have the
cute.
Yeah. Oh, just a second. I gotta mirror my do the other things just the correct way around. Just a second here.
Say which now?
Yours looks the correct way around to me.
Now is it correct now?
Oh yeah, it's correct now. Yeah.
Now it's correct.
Is mine correct to you? It looks right to
yours is correct. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yep. Yes.
That's cool. Good, yeah. I'm glad we have the different covers to look at.
Moopsy.
Yeah.
Moopsy. Yours is moopsy and cutesy and terrifying, and mine has all the colors of the rainbow, because Lower Decks is very queer, which I love.
I considered getting your variant too, just because it had T'Lyn on it, and I love me some T'Lyn.
I don't pick the variants. My local comic shop, shout out Comic Hunter. Thank you, Remy, Renee, Matt, all the Comic Hunter folks. And they just put them aside for me, which is really nice. And I go pick them up. So it's cool to see the other covers. Neato.
Indeed.
Yeah,
so we are...
let's get into it.
Yeah.
We're rejoined... no, as opposed to some of the other Star Trek series, of course, the fun of this guy is that we open with Badgie introducing things.
I love that.
I skip Badgie. I skip anything to do with Badgie.
I just thought that portended terror right out of the gate. I thought it was like, we're just subject to Badgie the whole way through. But this seems like it's going to be an ongoing piece of the sort of previously on Lower Decks sort
Mhm.
of stuff.
And I like that they did it in the L-Cars style,
Yeah.
but they did it in this like sickly green.
Oh yeah.
Feel is very Badgie vibes.
Or like
Oh, very
Borg
much, yes.
freaking assimilation or something.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
thought of that, but yes.
Yeah.
Can you guys tell me who the art? I know it's written by Ryan North, one of my favorite comic writers. But the last series, Lower Deck series, was drawn by Chris Finoglio, who's been on our Graphic Histories podcast. You know,
Oh,
on the network.
nice.
This is art by
But
Derek
he didn't draw
Charm.
the series. Yes, that's
No,
right, Derek Charm.
lettered by Clayton Cowles.
Yeah. Almost
Yeah.
90% of all comics are lettered by Clayton Cowles.
Really? That's interesting.
he's I made up that number, but he's a busy fellow. Busy.
And then it
Prolific in his
says
lettering.
design and
A man of
production by
letters.
Johanna Natalie, group editor Heather Antos, editorial assistant Cassandra Jones. I also noticed
that's
here
productive.
in the special thanks, one of the people mentioned is Dayton Ward, who I think
Yes.
we've
Oh,
also
cool.
had on the show, one of the authors.
In the Lower Decks issue?
Yeah, it says
That's
special
right here, right?
thanks
Special
too, right
thanks
here.
right there.
See,
Oh,
that's your own
interesting.
fault for skipping the Badgie part.
You're right. That's why I have you two. Interesting, because I know he did an essay in Star Trek 500. My copy hasn't arrived yet. But we'll
I
talk
have
about
it, but I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, he does an essay in
on.
that one. Yes, former guest of the show. You're right, Dayton Ward. We had a fun talk with Dayton.
Wow.
Actually,
That was
a fun
great
guy.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we open here with what looks like the main story. We get title screens and everything, but it's not. It's done by the bottom of the page because Ta'ana is a wonderful doctor.
I really
Sure
like
is.
that. And I noticed something that's different in these Lower Decks ones that I haven't seen in any of the other episodes is right at comics. I mean, right along the bottom, there's like meta commentary, and some of them are really great. So as we're going along through it, I'd like to indicate some of them that I thought.
Yeah,
particularly
there's one of
I was hoping you guys would,
too, which is my favorite comment on in any of these so far.
So
good.
Heather, that in fact is a Orion North trademark. The writer. This is his Squirrel Girl.
Okay.
So Squirrel Girl's full of that too, eh?
Full
That's
of it.
pretty fun.
And he did Squirrel Girl before he did that, and Squirrel Girl
Right
is
on.
phenomenal because it adds double the read time to the comics just because you.
It does.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, this
And
is
you
Unbeatable
kind
Squirrel Girl
of-
beats up the Marvel Universe. Highly recommend.
That's fun.
I love Squirrel Girl.
You can kind of read these little blurbs like at the end of the page or kind of midway through, and it's just like a little commentary on what's going on. So I thought that was pretty cute.
They're so good.
Yeah.
I love them. But yeah, so bring up any of the better ones of those for sure, you guys.
Yeah.
So we end up.
Dave has the Locutors copies in front of him, so
that's right. So we wander through a few potential whole Star Trek episodes that are.
I love this.
They just kind of come and go without incident. They're doing nifty stuff. They're going to see a lost outpost. They're going to see this tech problem shows up that they fix. This disease happens that they manage to get through it. By the end of it, Mariner is just losing. She's just so irritated. This is just a great Mariner face.
I love,
Oh yeah.
She's mad.
Her mom, the captain, looking on behind, like, "Oh, we're doing great." No.
Yeah. But it's funny. It's like, because how many times watching a Star Trek episode, it's just like, well, why didn't they just do that? It's because then there's no episode. And that's like 3 times when that happened. They're just like, oh yeah,
That's right. It's because I'm a competent doctor. I'm not going to let it get that far.
I love Ta'ana's threats, though. She's just like, look, I'm going to scratch you up real good and fix you real slow. Like, that's her threat. Like, it's crazy having this, like, murderous, violent doctor character.
Yeah.
She's the crankiest kid ever.
Oh, yeah.
I also
Just
really like, after a few of these missions where everything is tied up neatly in a bow and Mariner's so annoyed and frustrated, then after that happens again, they are resuming course to Tediosis 3, which I thought was really, really good.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So Mariner's kind of grumbling about this, and several of them kind of comment. T'Lyn tells her, of course, this is not logical. Tandy's comments are great. We're best friends. We live in a giant starship shaped house. Your mom's a captain, and sometimes your dad comes to visit. It's like literally opposite of what Mariner wants in this moment. She's like, no, give me
That's so true.
explosions
Like,
and
in
lights
more-
falling from the ceiling.
And more true of her than like any other character Tandy could have been talking to, because her mother and dad are like there all the time. It's like, this is your home. Like, where are you gonna go?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So yeah, another sort of dangerous encounter shows up. They're
yeah.
turned into a Christmas tree ornament, which made me very happy because my Christmas tree is routinely decorated with starships as ornaments, and I tell a different story every year. Voyager is always somewhere off on the other side of the tree. I try and keep that as canon as possible. But you know, yeah, the game is find the Burrell class bird of prey, because it's always hidden somewhere in the tree. But yeah, so this warmed my heart. But yeah, so they're.
Did you guys read the sub note though of like the other episodes he came up with? Because he's just like, I know we just blew through a great episode name and for nothing.
Oh,
like,
it says
oh, that's right.
It seems a shame to waste a banger of an episode title like the Cerritos encounter here. But don't worry, there are still titles like the Cerritos Factor, the Cerritos Directive, and the Cerritos Equation. Certified bangers all.
All certified bangers. I agree.
I really
The
hope
Equation. I really like that one.
What are you telling me, mister?
Oh, hello, Apollo.
Does your dog want to be on the podcast? I say yes. Even though he can't read, it's cool. And
he does.
He's walking over here with his space monkey blanket on.
He's
in a bit of a tuck-in situation, and now he's getting grumpy, so he's come this way.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. He has a hard time. He has a really hard time. Yeah.
Very sad boy.
He wants to go walkies soon. That's really his trouble. So the Christmas tree situation again gets fairly swiftly resolved. The godlike extra-dimensional entity's mom comes out and says, "Stop playing with the flesh things."
I love that whole thing. It's like, look, he will be grounded for the entire length of the life of your universe, which will only be like till the afternoon for us. But I assure you, he will never bother you again.
Yes. And the little being is like, but mom,
stop playing with the fleshies.
I do like his name, Thielzert. It kind of reminded me of the guy from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Beeblebrox.
Right. Zaphod Beeblebrox.
That's right, Zaphod Beeblebrox. Except this one thing doesn't have two heads. So they decide to head off to the holodeck to find some sort of adventure. Mariner's going to try and set them out with something that real life would definitely kill us in some really fascinating ways.
And this is where they referenced the Dracula. Tendi says, "Oh, can we invite hologram Dracula?" Last time we spoke, he said he'd like to come visit us sometime. And then the footnote is, to answer your question, yes, hologram Dracula has befriended hologram Frankenstein. They are having all sorts of public domain adventures back at Federation HQ.
Oh yeah, those beautiful monsters are all public domain. I kind of came up with an idea too, but we'll see.
Oh, did you just take that one down off the wall?
Yeah, that's the first series. That's number 3 from the first series.
But... Oh yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Good stuff.
That's a good one.
Maybe I do have one. No, I don't. I don't think I do.
Yeah.
And this is really cool.
It's funny though that they make him like he has this thirst for blood, so then they just realize they can just
Well, don't spoil Trekle Trunks for me. I'm gonna go watch.
Okay.
Spoilers.
Oh, the Bonaventures here.
Retro spoilers. These spoilers are time reversed.
This is so cute. You know what? I find I didn't notice this when I was reading it earlier, but I find this is giving South Park Canadian
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
The Bonaventure's
Yeah.
Canadian.
I'm not
Yeah.
your bodyguard.
It really, it also,
Get your
it
face
really
the
took
fire
me
guy.
back to, I don't know if you guys were Homestar Runner fans back in the day,
Oh, I see. Yeah,
but
I
it
can
took
see
me
that
right
too.
back to Homestar. This thing's about to say, "I was raised by a cup of coffee." It's oh man, it looks like the gorkiest little ship. I love it. It's
Yeah,
two
it's
little
really
eyes
cute.
and its weird little
It's like
unibrows.
Mariner. She's like, and why is it saucer like that? Like she's just explaining all the things that's horrible about it, but she's loving all those things. She's just like,
Yeah.
I had this model and I thought I kept building it wrong.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
honestly kept thinking I was building it wrong. That's an incredible design. Way to go, early Starfleet. Got it in one.
got it in one.
Yeah.
Because this
But-
this Bonaventure predates the Constitution class.
Yes, it does. And even from above, it's actually kind of a cool looking ship, you know.
Yeah, it is.
It looks, the top of it looks
Oh,
like a
the
guitar
teardrop.
pick.
It does
That-
sort
yes,
of.
it
Yeah,
does.
now that you say it. Yeah,
compare.
yeah, not going to unsee that. But yeah, so this is the long lost Bonaventure. Lost in the Delta Triangle, which Billups, of course, helpfully points out it's a three-dimensional in space, so it's technically more of a Delta Prismoid. We get some wonderful jokes from Talon, not giving two craps about like Earth metaphors whatsoever. Like,
This
can we
is
not
so
use weird
good.
alien metaphors?
I
Oh,
love
man.
this page. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is really good. Hey, here's an idea just for fun. Can anyone explain the Delta Triangle without using an alien metaphor or reference?
Oh, that's right. Oh, it's a kind of spaceborne Sargasso Sea. Yeah,
And it's not
I
even
love
a triangle; it's 3D space. So like, it's really more like a prismoid. Like,
Yeah. So yeah, that page, that's a good
It's just
gag.
a horrible like thing to call it. It's like none of it made
Yeah.
sense.
Prismoid.
Although the note on the bottom of this page is delightful. The reason Kayshawn isn't in this scene is because it was way
Yeah.
too heartbreaking to see him excitedly open his mouth when Dr. Tahana's head, "Can anyone explain the Delta Triangle?" only to close it, disappointed, when she continued on to say, "without using an alien metaphor or reference." It's like, oh, that's like my whole shtick. Oh,
Tahana and
chuckle when the
sickening.
walls fell.
Now, on the
Oh.
next page, I love that they have
Oh.
like the original comic art for Kirk.
That's from TAS, yeah.
Yeah,
from the
the
show.
animated series. Isn't
Yeah.
that cool?
With the weird Hanna-Barbera eyes, where the insides of the eyes are the same color as your skin, which looks
Yes.
even weirder with a character such as Nyota Uhura, for example.
I
The
never
insides of her
even
eyes are
noticed
brown.
that.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Yeah.
That
Once you see it, you can't unsee it. But yeah, it's
I never noticed that
it's really
before, but now
strange.
that you mention it, that is very weird.
Hanna-Barbera didn't have the best artwork back in the day.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No.
This is one of my favorite of the footnotes on the bottom. So Rutherford and Tendi are talking up here, and they're like, "How come Kirk's so close to the camera?"
That one was hilarious.
And Rutherford says, "I don't know. Maybe logs with video were a new technology at the time, so they didn't know how to use them." And then in their
Davan is
little-
helpfully supplying the correct.
then in the conference table,
I know it's like
Tendi
they're like
says-
Stardate 1820.3.
But no, they're like, no,
Tendi
Kirk's
says-
just such a pro. He like, yeah.
yeah, he
You got it?
edited in footage from the ship
Yeah.
pictures into his logs. Boimler said, "Kirk, man, total pro all the way." And Mariner said, "I would have thrown in an establishing shot before we hit the void, but yeah, not bad." And then the little note at the bottom says, "Kirk sometimes liked to unwind in his quarters by making a fan vid of his own day. This is canon."
Cannon.
Yeah.
Hear that, cousin Dave? Cannon. You can do canon
Right.
in comic if you just call it canon. Like, this is canon.
So then we get the animated series Spock
Yep.
and the Enterprise and a Klingon battle cruiser.
Piggybacking a Klingon battle cruiser, which is
In the Delta
Mhm.
Triangle.
that's right.
The
Now
Delta
it sounds
Prismoid.
very euphemistic.
Yeah.
Oh well. So they're performing the Delta Triangle.
Is that anything
What?
like the Culbert Starburst?
Oh no, that's dangerous.
That's
It is, isn't
yeah.
it?
You can't even do that in a motel. Anyway,
Oh.
so
What kind of motels you been going to? High class joints.
on motels for me. Hard slabs for sleeping, spikes for chairs. They're amazing. So now I've completely lost my place. Oh yeah, so I do love the end of his note, right? You know, all in all, a largely standard Monday here in space, but the day is still young. So Kirk is having the same problem as Mariner, but from a different
Yeah,
perspective.
that is pretty funny.
Right. So what they're trying to do is figure out why the Bonaventure is sort of drifting in space at this point. So they head aboard, they head away across to the ship, and we get these wonderful shots of a dark ship interior, but just suggestively colored down into engineering here. So you get the great kind of juxtaposition of these very modern Starfleet spacesuits with these classic century or more old Starfleet sort of setting. So yeah, they're all kind of geeking out on the historical quality of it. When oh yeah, they're powering things up, getting the ship going, and they managed to bring up the ship's log, where we get a really great Starfleet uniform.
You like
Check
these,
that
eh?
out. I think they're cool. They're
They're like-
really
They are
really
so cool.
well historical. Like they're really good historical style.
Oh, it's like a kind of a precursor kind of lineage.
Oh
kind of
yeah,
look, kind of.
yeah, for sure.
To me, they look like a cross between a Starfleet uniform and like 80% those racing suits that Tom and Harry would wear when they would like race starships. Like they would
Oh
have these,
yes,
like, white jumpers. Like they kind of look
absolutely
like that.
yes.
You know what they
But you can
remind
see all
me of
the-
a bit is the guy from Scooby Doo who wears that color palette. Is it Fred?
Fred.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excuse me, my cat is being bad. Just a minute.
There is
Sorry.
no such thing as a bad cat. Only bad cat owners, Heather.
Oh. Is he calling into question my parenting skills? We better get back
This
to
is
comics.
this is getting
I would
serious.
never do that. I have
Back
four
to the
bad
comic book.
So anyway, we're all wearing Scooby Doo Fred uniforms.
Yes. Yeah. But I like even like the comm badge thingy. You can see at the center of it, like there's all these suggestions of like what's going to become the weird division symbols in the
Like the
original
swirl and
series, the swirl and all that stuff, right? Yeah, like there's all sorts of great little visual pieces. Even the way the collar looks kind of seems to me like it's suggesting the uniform of the first film. That kind of weird beigey thing with the collar going on, you know?
Okay, I got that here probably.
Yeah, like there's just a lot of different visual references going on there. I loved it.
Ooh,
That sort of those kind of things. Yeah,
that's nice. That's a nice
yeah,
one.
and there's even like a sweatery thing they wear later in the like more like
Maybe
Sulu's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her is there.
Oh, she
Yeah.
looks great.
Joe
I
does,
would like to ask if anybody else noticed these. I want to get a good shot of it. These little this little thing on like the opposite sign of the Delta shield.
Oh,
it's
with
on,
the three.
Yeah,
What's
it's
that,
on
Dave?
everybody's spacesuits. And I thought at first it might be rank, but everybody has these three dashes.
Yeah.
And then a line under it.
It could be like oftentimes you'd have like a thing and then you'd have another thing that has your ship name. Maybe it's that.
Could be. I wonder
Cerritos?
also if it were right there on the chest, it could also just be some kind of, because you know, like when you're in if you're in a space where the air quality could be going bad, or there, you need like a high quality radon sensor, one of those things, you can actually just wear them on your chest. Sometimes it'll go off. So even if you don't notice it, someone else could see you and notice it. It could be some kind of indicators there, like battery indicators or two indicators, maybe. That'd be my guess. Just because everybody's got them on that part of the suit.
Everyone's
right?
got them, and they're all the same.
Yeah, unless it's just an aesthetic design piece.
Yeah,
and I suppose it could be that as well. But I'd rather think it as a function.
No, I like it for the aesthetic.
All right then.
Disagree. Fashion over function.
Yeah.
Well, listen, they're in a
really
post-scarcity world. They could do it for fashion.
This.
Yeah.
That panel where you can see like all of that behind them, that looks really sharp. Guys, I'm really not good at spatial stuff. I never know which direction
it's all in
move
reverse.
It's true.
Look
and then it ends up in front of my face.
Look
And I'm like,
at
well, now I don't know where it is.
Fashion over function. Those division coordinated bows aren't keeping the rain off.
No, I guess not.
So they're flying through. They leap to warp as all of a sudden, and they're not really sure what's happening, but they have a generous estimate of 14 seconds or -1 seconds before they all explode.
I love that. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, they got 3 engineers guessing how many seconds there should be. So they have the conservative, the disastrous, and the optimistic estimate, and then.
Well, Tolin is just like, no, all of these estimates have a 15 seconds, like, give or take.
That's
like...
right. Yeah, they all have an error. Such estimates carry error bars of at least 15 seconds.
Yeah. It's like, so my 16 seconds estimate sucks. Thanks, Tolin. Better open
right,
today.
So we end with this great splash page.
Yes.
Of the EXO flying along in space all by himself. And then, hey, where is everybody?
Yeah, everyone gets beamed away except old Ransom.
I didn't even notice on my first reading the blurb on the bottom of this page, and I just read it, and it's really good. It says, "Here we're hoping you won't mind buying a comic where the ship explodes on the first page, and the rest of the book is blank pages that just say, sorry, everyone died." Maybe we'll come up with something better by next month. There's one way to find out. That's fun. That's really
great.
Cute.
Classic Ryan North.
All right.
And I see now on the next pages, they've got next issue. So this is the cover I have for the next issue.
Okay, so we've got the same cover.
Okay. Yeah. And then they have the cover variants of this issue. So that's cool.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So these are the two that we have. This is the one that you have. This is the one that I have. I can't tell where my fingers are. And this must be this must be the third cover variant.
Oh, look at that.
Get out of here.
Oh,
look at him with his glowy eyes. And then this looks cool, and I'm definitely going to read it. It says it's already out November 2024. Sons of Star Trek.
Yeah, that's a great looking cover too.
Yes, I remember when that came out. I didn't get it, but that's Q's son there, and Jake Sisko,
which I love. And we didn't. I mean, I could have learned more about Q's son, who was played by John Delancey's actual son.
True.
Very cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty great. I didn't know that. That's quite awesome.
True. Very true.
Then I'm looking on the back page here. Have y'all seen this? Warp into the action with Star Trek's first ever interactive original graphic novel, and it's Lower Decks. Warp your own way.
Okay, so
choose your own adventure book.
Back to my Ryan North collection for a moment.
Okay.
So
it says available now. Woo! It's $33.99 Canadian.
Well, I gotta go.
I want to choose my own adventure.
Where is my thing?
And the adventure
choose your own financial adventure.
Yes, and the adventure is I got to save up for that comic.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Well, that was cool. I really enjoyed that. What did you think of it?
But I have a Ryan North.
That was fun. Mm-hmm.
Somewhere here I have a.
Oh, hello, kitty cat.
No,
Do
I have
you
a Ryan
see-
North Choose Your Own
do it?
Adventure.
He
There she
usually
is.
can't get up
He
there,
is.
and he's trying to get at my plants and break them. Story, do you
Oh,
have
I
that?
figured he was headed for the teacups.
No,
His
that's
plants-
another Ryan North classic where I have by
okay.
him Romeo and Juliet Choose Your Own Adventure.
Oh, fun! All right, so this is a type of comic.
Another trope.
He's tried
Another,
before. Oh, that's cool.
Well, no, that's not a comic so much. I mean, it does have some
Oh, okay.
animations, but like, yeah.
It's a graphic novel, it said in the back
that
of this
is-
one.
yeah. Oh, there
Right
it
on.
is. All right, I found it.
He's digging around for it.
All right, so this is
Yeah,
Ryan North,
completely
Romeo
off
and
the
Juliet, Romeo and
Romeo
or Juliet.
and or Juliet.
Yes, by Ryan
right
North.
on.
That's cool. Oh, look, I'm Kirk. Captain Sog.
You know, there's some imagery, but not much really.
That's pretty cool.
Right.
Well, I think I'd like to try the
Wow.
Lower Decks one if I ever save up $33.99 because it's I really enjoyed that first Lower Decks comic. It's got the tone of the show. It's light, it's irreverent, it's got so many little in jokes to previous comics, to previous shows. It's everything I love. It's a good time.
Well, yeah, it has very much the same feel. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
You guys up for some Shakespeare?
Yeah.
Always.
Give it to us.
Number
False tooth.
158. I swear on my own awesome bod. You begin, but Juliet interrupts you. You know what? This is crazy. It's too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, she says. How about this? We say goodnight, and we meet again tomorrow. Sound good? I was hoping I'd get to sex you, you say. What? Juliet says. I was hoping we could, make promises of love, you say. Anyway, check it out. He's got a Hamlet one too.
Promises of love.
Pretty sure.
Oh, well,
that's awesome.
that seems fun. And with Lower Decks as the subject matter, I think that would be a good time.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
we
I think
pool
it
our
would be fun,
money, $11.33
Oh.
a piece, so we can get our very own copy.
We can
Do it. Our Locutors copy. We'll just mail it around
Yeah,
for the price of just buying 3 copies anyway.
yeah,
Oh, God.
Canada Post sucks. Sorry, Canada Post. Not your fault, cousin Jeff. It's the worker is the real hero.
That's
Canada
true.
Post. We
Seize
support
the means
Canada
of
Post.
production.
It's true. So, or at least the means of mail delivery, at the very least.
Yes.
Yeah.
The nuggets
So-
of chicken are yours to take. When
communist
do
chicken
you
nuggets.
get to eat? Anyway, sorry, I'm just on
Alright.
a little communist.
So
rant.
are we ready
Go ahead.
for issue?
We're ready. We have the
Yeah,
same cover,
yeah.
it looks like.
Well, it's a
The
great
same
cover. I
cover.
picked that one. It's too good.
It's
got
so
Janeway
cool.
on there
I
and
love
Picard. I love the
There's a lot of
Picard
drama in the
that
title.
Boimler wanted. Boimler is so messed up. Like, he's just like, I want season 1 Picard, who's just he's the captain of the Enterprise, and for some reason, super mad about it.
Super
like,
mean.
So mean about
Yeah,
it.
super mean about it.
That's right. So we begin the issue on an odd planet. Lieutenant Boimler is he's making a log.
Mhm.
It's exciting.
He's in the bathroom.
Well, no, in fact, he's just
Oh no, never mind.
that's
Ew,
right.
Gavin.
It's terrible. I was just trying to slide right by that, but oh no. In reference to
I have
that,
kids. I
Meredith
deal with
does
poop on
say,
a minutely
Boimler,
basis.
stop juicing up the story for your log. Yes. Talin ends up getting in on the log, which is kind of delightful. It's a great little joke.
They all get
Yeah,
in on
that
the
is-
log, don't they?
That is fun.
Yeah.
He's like, I've been waiting for this forever to do a speech like this. Is that part? No.
Oh no, this is just his
No,
log at the
no.
start where he's trying to do a
Oh, okay.
Kirk-like log. So we come around, they start listing the ways, they're trying to think about the ways that I've lost his name. Ransom could have survived with one of these great moments, he could have just run into and popped the main viewer out.
We're going to talk about this for the next half an hour.
This is just brilliant.
Yeah, me and Dave were talking about this before we even hit play here, because the idea of ejecting the friggin' view screen blew my mind. And not just because it's crazy, but because it makes sense. It's so crazy it makes sense. Like, those things blow out when they get phaser hits them anyway. You might as well have them, like, if you have, like, spacesuits, make a quick exit through the view screen.
And I love that Rutherford says view screens are famously among the top 15 things easiest to eject. That was a good guy.
This does lead to easily my favorite Ryan North comment of all time. And just a true thing to be said about spaceships. Starships are just highly pressurized containers surrounded by a hard vacuum. So really, most of their job is to prevent things from being ejected. Any system is technically an ejectable system in space. You just need a hole and a dream.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
That's so good.
Space is so hideously dangerous. It's great.
Oh my God, it sure is. And yet you want to go there. All right.
Oh,
and
so
I'd like to say that I really love this color palette.
Yeah, it's nice.
Of the world that they're on. It's giving almost like Dr. Seuss, the Lorax, before the Onceler comes and fucks everything up.
But at the same
in a
time,
more like autumn palette.
Mm-hmm. But that sky and the whole rocks on a planet thing, it's absolutely like a TNG in a soundstage.
Oh yeah,
place they could land on a planet. It's
Hide
perfect,
and Q. Right? Remember when we did the Hide and Q TNG review, and I was so mad because the background was this awful green color. Yeah. Well, it looks really nice in the comic.
It does.
I really love this panel.
It grows on you
too.
It also has like a bit of gradation.
Let's do this.
Where it's like it's just a flat green on that TNG episode. There's no bit of yellow there to highlight nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks like pea soup. It's just like the pea soup planet.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And so at this point, we meet our with a quiet hello off to the side of Mariner. We meet our sort of antagonists, our other guys. They're Excalbians.
Mm-hmm.
Which
that just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
It does.
I assume he's one of these guys.
Alladociously, yeah. Look at those guys
from the TOS. Great. This one's going.
Oh my God! Are they a reference? That's like an existing canon species.
Yeah, this is Yarnek from TOS. I'm pretty sure he's.
Were they in the original series or the?
Yes, this is the one where they have to like they mentioned it in the comic there, like they were about fighting Abraham Lincoln or some shit.
Yeah,
like from the TOS episode. Yeah.
Well, I never watched TOS because this is nonsense.
Oh yeah. Oh snap! You're the ones who made Kirk and Spock team up with Abraham Lincoln to fight KLS the Unforgettable.
Yarnek.
That really happened.
And then broadcast it all over subspace just so you can understand what good and evil are. This is real? How we learn.
That's real.
Yeah. No, like that's the thing.
I have his action figure. It's definitely real.
About Kirk and his fan fitting. This is canon.
Yep.
This is wild to me. That's wild. And then the alien says,
"This is one of the lovely things with Star Trek.
This is how we learn." And Mariner says, "Wild choices, dude. I respect the ambition, but wild choices."
Wild choices. Yeah. That was one of my favorite lines. That's probably my favorite Mariner line of the run here so far.
Yeah, that was really good. Awesome. And I also really like this bit. What's her name? T'Lyn, thank you. T'Lyn says, "I note that this is the second instance in recent memory in which we have encountered something tied to the record of the late Captain J. Kirk."
Yeah, right.
And then the footnote says, "If you encounter a tribble, is that a Kirk thing? There's still of them, Did Kirk ever drink a glass of water? Is that a Kirk thing?"
Is everything a Kirk reference? Like, chill out on the Kirk. Yeah.
That was really cute.
That's right.
Yeah, that was good.
That's great. So they're all free to leave at their convenience once they've completed a dramatic spectacle for the entertainment and edification of all Excalbians already watching. And they want them to I love this piece. So right, so that we might all better understand the concept, and they have them all supplying things of failing to maintain something, of being hunted, of sincerely and openly discussing our feelings, of murdering boilers. But Tallinn is the best. It
Yeah.
is not logical to predict an unknown entity's communication. However, if I were to indulge myself with just a single word, I believe the next morpheme spoken is likely to be of.
Oh.
Of mentorship. Fucking nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it.
And like the little smile on her face, the tiny hint of a
Like,
smile.
This is
She's
what
an
makes the
unhinged
most
Vulcan,
insane.
remember? Like, she's loving this, like, bit of emotion she's feeling. She's, like, unhinged.
I really
Oh.
like that in that panel. It's one of the few panels in the comic where she's drawn with her eyes facing forward and not side-eyeing somebody. She's like, you nailed it.
Yeah. Like, yeah, she's doing like an office gym kind of like
Yeah.
nod to the camera. Yeah. I love Tallinn so much.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, anyway, continue. That's pretty fantastic.
So the of is for mentorship. And they're going to have them teach them about mentorship by pairing them with a series of excellent mentors they thought would be best for each of them. So Tandy gets Jadzia, a great,
everyone's favorite Trill, and in my
Great
top
choice.
3 favorite characters, Jadzia.
She's so great.
So great.
Of course, Samantha Rutherford gets Montgomery Scott.
I was guessing he was going to be Geordie. I mean, of course, the cover.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But I was like, oh, I bet he's going to be, because I forgot about the cover. I was like, oh, he's going to be Geordie.
Yeah. Then, of course, there's Mariner and Janeway, which was great.
I'm so glad they gave Janeway the business hair instead of the elaborate space bun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then,
so it's like Mariner's reason for picking
Boimler.
Janeway. It's just like, yeah, she does what she wants, but she gets the job done.
Yeah.
It's true.
Oh, that's great.
And I also like that.
Eddie's way ahead of you, Captain.
Yeah, Eddie's way ahead of you, Captain. And then the mean Picard shows up.
Oh no! I hate Mean Picard.
I love him. Look at him. It's perfect. They even have the theme in the front of his uniform.
Like, look how mean he looks.
Yeah,
I know.
It's because the uniform is hurting his back.
There's like, and you, Lieutenant Boimler.
Wear this.
Or do they call him Ensign? You, Ensign Boimler, or whatever. Your mind is more complex. You have a very specific era of the character you want. Like, it's so strange.
I really like this panel too, where Mariner is like, Boyms, what the hell? Oh my God, do you like getting dressed down by elite father figures? And Boimler's drawn like with his eye twitching. Like, don't embarrass me in front of the captain.
Except that clearly he wants to be slightly embarrassed in front of this captain. I love it because it's like, you're you're weird.
Boimler's got a humiliation kink for sure.
He really does. They're like, the Excalibians are right when they say your mind is more complicated, Boimler.
Yes.
Your desires are very conflicting.
It makes sense that he got split into 2 people because he is 2 people. Like
very
so
much.
Good. And
he's like those pictures of Edgar Allan Poe when they just like mirror one side of his face and the other, and he's just 2 entirely different people.
I love.
Oh yeah, and then yes.
Oh yeah.
Everybody lined up together with their mentors. That's so cool.
Indeed. Oh yes, and of course, and they're going to teach them the concept of mentorship with a battle royale to the death.
Oh, did we skip over that? Like, Tallinn's hero was T'Pol.
Oh yeah,
T'Pol is just like, rather than give you mentorship, I just brought you a pad here with all the information you require on it because I thought you'd like that more than mentorship. And she's just like, you assumed correctly.
You were correct. Thank you.
Here's all the information you will need. Good day. Like,
I just noticed that everybody in the lineup of all the people together, everybody is looking ahead except Mean Picard is glaring at Boimler, and Boimler is looking worriedly at Mean Picard. That's such a fun detail.
He just trying to say, "Shut up,
He's just-
boy."
Yes. Just frowning upon him from the back.
What with the
right?
purple hair?
Yeah.
No purple hair on the bridge.
And Boiler's like, oh, so good.
Oh, it's wonderful. So they decide they don't want to. Oh yeah, they're going to try and induce their cooperation and get the mentors to try and convince them to kill everyone else.
And then
Which
everything
this
goes
is a
from
great
green to
look.
angry red.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love the different convincing methods that each of these mentors uses to try to convince their mentee to become murderous.
Oh yeah.
This is where when y'all were saying earlier, I think it was you, Puxley, is saying like the style of the comics is done so close to the show that you can hear the characters in your head as you're reading it. Now, for me, when we get this frame of Picard whispering to Boimler like this, I totally heard that in my head. Now, hear this, Lieutenant. You know, let's kill them all and let's make sure history never forgets the name.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
What is your
the name again?
I'm sorry, what is your name again?
Yes. I can't do the accent, but I can hear it in my head.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. Oh, and I mean, Jadzia is like unhinged in a Klingon way.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is we let them kill one another, then we take on the survivor.
We're just gonna sit back. We're gonna hang back, see what.
They'll already be weak, maybe even bleeding out. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
But it's like a very Jadzia Klingon way. Like a Klingon would love to be in that fight, where Jadzia is just like, no, I know how Klingons work. It's gonna be a fight.
Let's
And
let
here's
them
how we
kill each
outsmart
other, and then
Klingons,
we'll
'cause it's
finish it
not that hard.
off.
What does
Yeah.
Janeway say?
Of course, Janeway says, "Tell me, Beckett, have you ever heard of Tuvix?"
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And then she goes straight to suggesting we'll tear their DNA apart with our teeth.
I love she just goes straight for cannibalism. Like, talk
He
about
just let her
unhinged.
right out of the bag there. It's true.
Yeah, and
Oh, man.
Mariner's like, oh shit.
I like Janeway because she was crazy, but now I don't know.
You know, the thing about Scotty is I don't really think they've changed anything.
Mm-mm.
No,
Because
not
it's like,
really.
we'll just tell them it'll take a while.
Perfect.
It'll take a bit. And I've already got it done in the next 15 seconds.
So good. That's how you get the reputation of being a miracle killer.
Yeah.
That's right. It's like, I decided to kill them 15 minutes ago. Oh, man.
Yeah, that was really good. This whole page is just fantastic. Pitch
Yeah, it
perfect
was
on
great.
all the characters.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Ongoing
So they,
series, we have lots to look forward to.
so they're not quite sure what they're gonna do here. They're figuring they're gonna kill them again in the next moment, but Boimler has a plan.
Now,
Quick
I really
speech.
like this. So, when they first encounter their mentors and the sky is still that green, and then everything turns red when the mentors go a bit crazy, when Boimler's getting his idea, we see the red clearing off and then the green skies returning.
You're catching all these details.
Yeah.
It's because you're
So
so
good,
tuned into
though.
colors, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, it is. I noticed that. I
Yeah.
love when they tell stories with colors and
Yeah, that's great
outfits and
stuff.
backgrounds, right? And he's just
yeah.
like, we don't get to see Boimler being triumphant very often, right? So I think that's a cool panel.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then they
I
say
like
what
this
they're really there
top-down
for.
perspective here of all of them.
Get the
Yeah,
shadows.
we're really like from the Excalbians' point of view, right?
Mhm.
Which is great. Like they're really speaking to to that point of view character in a certain sense. But we
Mhm.
wanted to explore, we wanted to understand it. We hope you never run out of things to learn. But I
My
love
favorite thing is
Timmy's
that,
point
like,
here.
yeah, okay, go
We
ahead.
are the universe seeking, striving to understand itself.
Mm.
Ooh.
I love just like how, like, so many times, especially in TOS, you're like, the villain's plan here is just like ridiculously off the wall and like nonsense. Like basically, and like that's what's happening in this comic. But I like they just call like the Excalbians out on that. They're like, this is like literally the stupidest way you could possibly try to achieve your goals here. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, like, yeah,
Absolutely.
It's so funny.
Right? We can
Like,
do
what
it
do
through
you mean?
conversation,
Like,
collaboration, cooperation, sharing of knowledge, concepts, and ideas. It's awesome. The
like,
Excalbian.
no, we make people fight.
I like the
Yes.
Excalbians.
And then it just cuts to the mentors beating the shit out of each other against the red sky again. I love that everything cleared and went happy and green while they all made their speech. And in more traditional Star Trek, everyone would have been like, "You're right, peace." But in this one, the Excalbian was like, "Nah, we're gonna let everybody tear each other apart."
Because they're all
You
those
through the
space
process,
ratings.
and I am quoting here: "Less good and pretty talky, actually."
Yeah, that was a good gag.
But
Oh,
Boimler finally
man.
gets to do his big speech, and it just fails miserably.
And I love that Mariner says, "Wait, excuse me, I'm not boring. I'm a loose cannon. And cannon is not spelled like the weapon.
Oh,
it's spelled C-A-N-O-N.
God.
Oh,
Your eye for detail is unmatched on this show.
Holy crap.
Thank you.
That is tremendous. And like that, they've been making that joke the whole that's brilliant.
Yeah, that's fun, hey? And then Tendi says, "Oh, Mariner, you totally are. I don't care what anyone says." But right over there, Jadzia and Picard are teaming up to fight T'Pol while Scotty and Janeway sword fight each other with energy swords. And I gotta admit, it is compelling.
I like what they did here. Like, I know they thought about this. They're like, what is the most reasonable matchups we can come up with these 5 characters? And Scotty and Janeway, you can see being pretty even in a fight. And of course, it's going to take 2 of them to take on a Vulcan. So it's like, I like what they did there.
And I love that Picard is holding her arms back and Jadzia is doing a flying double punch. Like,
that's pure Kirk moves right there.
But you know, Jadzia is going to turn on Picard instantly. Like, she's just going to drop Picard next. Like,
has North ever done any Star Wars comics?
I don't think so. No.
Because the comment on the bottom is awesome. It's like, energy sword fights are compelling, sure, but are they learning anything new about the human condition?
Yeah, I love that too.
Yeah.
It
might have been my favorite line.
They are. And even Jadzia, she's not even human to begin with. So good. So it turns out that they blonk them back to the ship because they're boring. And the whole crew has arrived back. The original crew has arrived back.
The funny thing is they don't even need other people at all. They're perfectly happy with their constructs that are just more Excalbians. Like, Picard's an Excalbian. Like they're
all Excalbians just having this. It's like that.
They just need to be actors. They just need to act.
The thing that really struck me about that was it's like one of my favorite Monty Python jokes is when they do like we're going to do a historical reenactment. And it's just them dressed up as ladies beating each other up with their purses in a field.
That's a great one.
This is Excalbian culture. And now the signing of the Treaty of Versailles. That's just what they want, though. Wild choices. So the crew had sort of been trying to solve their own problem the whole time, run into another godlike species of amazing people, and finally borrowed one of their ships and caught up to their own ship. So they were just Starfleeting their way through their own problem, which I kind of love. That these guys who are still from, what is this, 200 years ago at this point, they're still kind of the brightest and best out there doing a Starfleet thing, even though they realize that they're sort of hopelessly out of date in terms of their ships and stuff. I just read down his dialogue again. I'm sorry, it totally threw me off. So they're going to help them get home faster and do all that sort of thing. But in the end, this wonderful panel with Mary's saying, I've been kind of on this journey of development and all this stuff, and I've been kind of, thinking that I needed all this adventure, and maybe I just need to accept that it's, the good days are actually worth enjoying. And then Town is like, what the crap are you talking about? None of us need to know about what your inner journey you've been going on. God, what do you think personal logs are for?
I love it.
Right back to this. And then they send the program to Starfleet HQ, and I think Janeway gets a kick out of it. It's great.
Oh yeah, in this last page.
Janeway catches the broadcast.
And they're still just beating each other. And Janeway is biting. Set a course for bone. I love this one. She's kicking T'Pol in the guts. She said the first duty of every Starfleet officer is the tooth.
It's just... The Excalbians are a very silly people. I think we can conclude.
I can't believe they're real.
They are.
Being in a show makes them real. I can't believe they're real. They're real.
They're as real as anything in Starship.
They're real. Look at them. You have proof.
Yeah, they're pretty nuts. It's like they don't accept any of Starfleet's conclusions and just go on with their like.
That's true.
Like,
no. Fight. We want Itchy and Scratchy. So yeah, I mean, this is totally perfect Lower Decks headcanon for me. Like, there's no this is just canon, and I do like the fact that this is the joke the whole time.
Oh well, Sergeant Nature Boy, you have a lot to look forward to. This Lower Decks in comics is the perfect. There's a lot of great Star Trek comics, including this great series here.
And listen, joining late is better than not joining at all. So you're very welcome to be here.
Yep.
And you're welcome for this awesome podcast.
You get Janeway as your mentor.
Yeah.
Unrelated.
Heather, you get Luoxana as your mentor.
Obviously. Oh, I know. She would be so fun. She would be such a fun mentor. Unrelated to Lower Decks, I wanted to show you my friend Ian. Shout out. Hi, Ian. Got me these gold key Star Trek
issues
at a yard sale.
Look at those.
This one is from 79, the year I was born, and this one is from 72.
You don't look a day over 81.
Thank you, sir. So these are pretty neat, and I haven't read them yet because I just got them yesterday, but I wanted to point them out, and the artwork.
Classic stuff there.
Yeah, it's very classic. And I was thinking it was the same when I was reading the Lower Decks where we see the Kirk and Spock stuff. I was thinking it was from this era of comics, but then I was looking closer at it and I was like, no, it's definitely from the animated series because these they don't have flesh-colored eyes.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, they were out at the same time.
Is that evil? I can't point to him. Is that evil Spock right there? He's
it
got a goatee.
Looks like evil
looks like it, doesn't it?
No, I think it's just a guy with a goatee. Oh, you know what? It's a Klingon. Kirk and Spock invade a Klingon warship in Operation Con Game.
Guy with a goatee.
That's before, we don't talk about it happened.
It's probably Korax. It should be dragged away as garbage. Like that guy. He had a goatee.
Well, when Ian gave these to me, I said, which will I read first? This one where there's a guy with a goatee, or this one where people are getting tied up and it's very homoerotic?
Ooh.
Goatee, obviously.
No way. This one.
Oh, okay.
But look,
that was
we all have our different preferences.
They're building a Mount Rushmore of Spock, apparently.
It's awesome.
I thought that was Beverly Crusher from a distance. This looks like a lot of red hair to me. I was like, what is Beverly doing?
It looks like Beverly Crusher over here.
Yeah, exactly. So you hold it back and it looks like Beverly.
Anyway, I look forward to. I'm going to read these. I didn't have time to read them before this
Right on.
podcast, but I thought I would have a look at them and on the next Trekle Chunk, maybe point out some highlights because this is pretty neat.
That is a great
Do it.
piece of
And this is
Star Trek.
Yeah.
That's history there.
That's great.
Yeah. I think this is episode number 16 of Trekle Trunk. So there's a lot of comics to go back and check out, people.
Wow.
Not every Trekle Trunk is a comic review, but most of them.
And when I picked up my comics today, I got the catalog for the new upcoming Star Trek comics. I can't wait to see this. Look at this artwork.
I know. I got to get caught up. Like, I got 13 and 14 here, but like I don't think I have anything past 14.
Wow.
Oh, I'm into the 20s now, but I haven't read them yet. But this is going to be. So is this going to be like?
Well, look. I have this one actually. I jumped ahead and bought number 26 just because it was a Cisco cover, and it's the countdown to Lore War.
Oh, okay. So is Lore War part of like the Star Trek titles? It's
part of this. So there's this series. This is the Star Trek.
It's going to be a Star Trek arc,
now.
is it?
And it's basically Cisco's ship. And Cisco has Data and Tom Paris and Beverly and Scotty on his team.
Right.
So there's also running at the same time this Defiant book.
It's the Defiant.
I really like those.
Yeah. So it's like these ongoing stories like Lore War and stuff, these big crossovers, it'll probably cross over between those two books.
Well, because it's ultimately coming out of Defiant, probably into the Star Trek main title, I suspect.
Oh yeah, because Lore's on Worf's crew, or was, but then he like took off. But he was on Worf's crew for a while in that Defiant.
He pulled a Lore.
Yeah, he's like, I need
pulling a Homer, but smarter.
That's really cool, and it says that it's coming out in April 2025.
Nice.
Nature Boy says, I'm still holding on to all the Next Generation books from my teenage years. Do you mean comic books or novels?
Oh, like Q and Law. Some of those were such
I loved
good
Q and Law. That's like my favorite of the novels. Peter David was a reliably good author.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, Sergeant.
The comics, right on.
I never read.
There's some good stuff there. I've got some of that stuff here too. There's some good TNG comics. I got some old DS9 stuff here too.
It is. I'm looking at the Lore War thing here, and it does say an all-new crossover event between Star Trek and Defiant. So it will go across both books. Call that.
Right on. There we go.
I think if you go back into the Trekle Trunk archives there, Nature Boy, we do cover a couple of the late 90s TNG stories. They were miniseries. Like I know we covered Wolf in the Fold. We covered a couple of those older TNG stories. Yeah, well, go back and check those out too.
All right.
You know what we should do before we get out here, just because it'll be fun for a second.
What's that?
What we do to our guests often on this podcast.
Oh yeah,
Heather, you're not really a guest, but why don't we hit Heather with a space line?
Oh yeah, that's a great fun idea.
All right, Heather, ready? Rapid
up.
fire.
Okay,
here we go. Favorite show?
Trek-wise. Okay. Favorite episode?
Do I have to say it right now? This is so much.
Say it now.
It
can change, but say it now. Rapid fire.
In the Pale Moonlight.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, great. Perfect choice.
Okay, favorite movie.
Favorite movie, yeah.
First Contact.
Okay.
Obviously.
Perfect. Love it. Who's your captain?
Giorgio.
Oh wow! The original one that they killed in the first episode, right?
No, the evil bisexual one.
She's not a captain.
I don't care. She's my favorite.
Okay. That's not very Starfleet.
Okay, well, I did the favorite captain or captain impersonator.
Yeah, there you go, captain impersonator.
It is Cisco, but Picard was my first favorite.
Same. Picard got me into Star Trek, and then I'm like,
Of
I like
course.
Cisco better because he'll like. Anyway, there's lots of reasons why.
Mhm.
Favorite
villain?
character? No,
Oh,
you
sorry,
skipped
we
one.
skipped 5. Whoops, I skipped 5. Sorry.
Favorite character?
What is it? Favorite character? Loxana Troy.
Beautiful. Villain?
Well, the Borg Queen is my favorite classic villain. But do you know who? Do you know who I thought is a fantastic villain that we've had in recent Trek? Was Amanda Plummer as the Changeling.
Oh yeah, she was very good.
Oh yeah,
is
was
what was her name?
fantastic.
she
That
was
gave me
terrifying.
She was terrifying. That
It was
gave
just
me
such
the
an
chills.
odd delivery,
Just-
delivery she chose.
I can't think of her name right now, but she was really fantastic, and that was
Yeah.
like ice cold.
Yeah, really good.
Oh yeah. She was just chill.
Favorite alien species?
Favorite alien species? Trill, I guess, because I love Jadzia
no one said that yet.
a lot.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And I
Cool.
love the spots. Like I have been
they are
this
awesome.
close to getting Trill spot tattoos at so many different times
Do
in
it,
my
Heather.
life. I know.
No, it'd be a brilliant usage for henna too.
But you're gonna have to get that classic Trill. Like people are gonna do that classic. I'm gonna hit on a Trill line. Do they go all the way?
Do they go all the way down? Well, not yet because tattoos are expensive. Also,
would you like to pay for some more?
Would you like to pay for some more? I'll show you how far they go down if you put some money.
I'm
exactly.
sponsoring spots right now.
How far? As far as you can afford, buddy.
It's going to cost you as many strips of gold pressed platinum as you can afford.
That's right.
Planet you would most like to visit?
Casperia Prime.
Good one. Not as cliche as Liza, which everybody else says.
Yes.
Remind me of what Casperia Prime is again.
Casperia Prime is like the vacation.
But with none of the like weather system fuckery.
Oh, nice.
It's like the vacation getaway of the Hobarian Nebula, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, the Hobarian Nebula. All right, then. Favorite ship, which is the most important question on this
list. The only one
obviously.
Dave cares about. Yeah.
Well, the Defiant, obviously.
Nice.
No,
that's a great ship.
It's the Defiant, but the Enterprise E. The first time we see the Enterprise E, the first time we see it in First Contact, and I'll tell you why, not because it was the best design or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's because it's my favorite movie. And I got into Star Trek at Generations. The fella that I was dating at the time, I didn't watch Star Trek at all before that. It wasn't like my dad wasn't into it. My second dad is, but we didn't grow up together. So I watched Generations with my boyfriend at the time, and I loved it. So I started watching Star Trek, and by the time First Contact came out, I was obsessed. So when you see First Contact, and the first time you see the Enterprise E on the screen, I was like, oh, right? So that really stuck with me. So the Enterprise E is very special to me, and the Defiant is just the
because it just sort of shows up as bodies of Borg cube, from what I recall, right? Because it sort of shows up on screen and then it just starts kicking ass.
Yeah,
almost immediately. Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, it's a great introduction to that ship.
Well, it's when they.
Is there a first flyby? Is there an earlier flyby there too?
Yes, it shows up because they have to do their first sensor sweep of the neutral zone because they won't let them. Go.
They do show the ship a few times before that.
Yeah, before
that overhead shot, so you can see the racing stripes and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
But I like it. I think it's cool. It looked sleeker and more modern and like warlike than the Enterprise D, which is a very like family, the
fat one, as they call it in Picard.
Oh, it's like it's like
nobody wants the fat one
with phasers.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not sure you're going to get this reference, Heather. Biggest Herbert.
I do not.
Okay, so in TOS, do you ever see the original series episode with the hippies, the space hippies that play guitar? It's kind of a classic. It's kind of a classic. We did a radio theater of it. I play Space Hippie #1.
What is
The
it
singing
called?
one.
What is the episode called?
Oh
Probably
Is
something
this
like
the
once more
Starseed or
onto
something
the
like
breach
that?
we will
no,
go with
Starseed's the
guitars.
con episode.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
con
yeah.
episode.
Oh, what is that episode called?
Is
We
this
did a
one-
radio
Is this
theater
one
of it.
about Kodos?
Kang and Kodos.
No.
No, because the guy who was the guy who was the dictator tyrant guy.
Hold
Who's
on, I'll
traveling around
find
with
it
space
out.
hippies.
Okay,
I'm
so
just gonna Google space
who-
hippies and it'll come
who
up.
is Herbert?
The Way to
And-
Eden, it was called. The Way to Eden.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah.
Charles Napier plays the main hippie. You may know Charles Napier from a lot of different things. He was in the Blues Brothers movie as the main cop.
Mhm.
And,
So back to
Charles Napier.
Herbert.
Who's Herbert? What's
So
Herbert? Tell
Herbert.
me.
So these space hippies, like, have you ever seen them? Like, they're hilarious. Like,
No, show me a picture of them.
okay, you'll okay. I'm gonna actually get your style points.
In keeping with
comments
our
on
Trekle
this.
trunk tradition, print a picture of it and hold it up to
That's
your
true. Yeah,
camera.
hold it up.
No, I'm
Just
gonna go.
hold your phone
I'm going to
screen
the
up if it
technology here. I'm wearing my engineering.
Oh,
outfit
my.
here.
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna
are
go
too.
for a
Look
sec.
at you.
Very
You're a
nice.
going
traitor
with
to
that.
our division, Davin.
I
It's
wear
okay. It's all right.
I
You
wear a
can
lot
wear
of hats.
it. I'm wearing all three. Haha.
I run 2 divisions already, and I'm thinking of taking over the yellows too. We'll see.
You
I'm
should.
gonna do a coup.
Conspiracy.
I'm gonna throw a coup. We're taking over. Science Division's taking over the whole ship. You ready?
All right.
I need
I'm
you
ready.
two. You guys are my 2 #1s here.
We'll be
Well-
in the Jeffries tubes, taking over the ship.
That's right.
All right. So these are the space hippies in
It's
question.
very
here,
stealthy.
Heather.
Oh, yeah, the space hippies.
my
Oh,
God.
man. The guy with the giant forehead is my favorite. He's just
Yeah.
sitting on the table like I have the worst makeup of all of them.
So
How-
Heather, where does the style
Have I
points
not-
here?
Oh my God. I can't. No, put it back up. I'm not finished looking at that.
Not done.
Okay, so let's start with the guy on the left. He's
Okay.
got fun fur eyebrows.
Oh yeah.
And a
Yep, blue.
djembe
Not even
that
purple.
he
They don't even
pointed
match his
blue.
hair.
Then he's got like
Yep.
a little purple Crown Royal bag of Scrabble tiles by his feet
Heather.
there.
He color
What?
coordinates like you. His eyebrows match his drum.
I know, but then he's got like an orange and red stripes, like the clashing. It's not even power
Yeah,
clashing.
no, the red
It's
and
just
purple's
looks-
never been my
It
favorite.
looks like a little bit of like leopard print stuff there on the side, you see?
I think that's like a stray piece of crochet gone awry at the bottom of his dress.
Oh, that would probably be a mercy.
Yes. And then like are the plants are they plants? Are they feathers? Are they jellyfish? What is
Other
happening
space hippies.
in the background? No, and then,
That's just Gary and Bart. They came along.
yeah. The guy in the front is wearing
That's Charles
thigh-high
Napier.
boots.
Mm.
His outfit is amazing and like unclockable. Look at those thigh highs, and he's wearing like,
Unclockable.
that dress is like an Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman prototype.
Huh.
Oh
And-
man, and he walked so the skort guy in season 1 of TNG could run.
He did. It's a hippie scant, and then
That's what it's
the 2 gals in the background. The one on the right looks like she took like a tapestry down off the wall and just belted it onto herself.
It's a very lovely tapestry. Do you mind?
Yes. And her side pony with the little curls, like it's so 60s. And the gal
Oh, yeah.
behind her hair and like her little flower power dress. Like the women look pretty good despite the diapery tapestry vibe of the blue outfit. But
Mhm.
the fun fur eyebrows guy is a disaster. Like
He's amazing.
this bitch is terrible. At least
So-
they matched the djembe to his hair and eyebrows, I guess. But like the guy in the middle, this outfit is amazing. The wig though, bitch, is that the
Oh,
same
man.
wig? Is that the thing wig they put on that dog and called it an alien?
I thought of a new show. I'm just gonna do a new show where I bring up pictures from TOS and have Heather comment on their style. This is amazing.
Star Trek on trial.
Yeah. Star Trek
The
fashion crimes.
Oh my god.
Fashion crimes.
There's so much going on here.
Oh my god.
So that's the space hippies.
So,
Okay.
just a minute.
So
But
who
this
is Herbert?
Back
then?
to
No,
Herbert.
not who is Herbert. Anyone could be a Herbert.
Oh, that's
Like-
true. Yeah.
Like some may say Jody's a Herbert.
How so?
Well, like they just if you're lame, they think you're
It's
a
like-
Herbert. Like
It's they're
Kirk
using
just starts to
calling somebody
talk.
a square?
Like
Yeah,
don't be a-
basically.
don't be a Herbert, man.
yeah, don't be a Herbert,
Yeah.
man. They say, what a Herbert. They start calling Kirk Herbert. Herbert.
Herbert. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So who's
That's
the biggest
playing
Herbert?
that form.
Okay. Who's the biggest Herbert?
This is such a
Bruce
long
Maddox.
walk to get to this.
Bruce Maddox is
Bruce
a good
Maddox
choice.
in
Oh.
The Measure of a Man.
Yeah, great choice.
Nice.
Great. Best choice we've had
Nice.
yet for that question, I think. 'cause
Yeah.
He's
Oh, that's a hell
a
of a
big old
Herbert.
Herbert. A big old Herbert.
Scram Herbert. You know who else
Mhm.
is a Herbert? Dr. Pulaski a little bit.
Oh,
You know what? I've been rewatching season
Her
2 because we're kind of at that
terrible,
point in the
terrible racism.
reviews.
Is amazing.
Okay, I might end up defending Pulaski during.
I
these
know
season
you're a
2
Pulaski apologist, and like,
But-
listen, she fucked Kyle
My-
Riker, respect,
Yeah.
but she's kind of a Herbert.
reviews. And dumped him.
Yeah, double
No,
respect.
not dumped him, but like just like my career is more important than you, Kyle Riker.
Yeah,
I'm a modern career woman.
that's right,
Like-
with a very old-fashioned wig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and very old-fashioned like racist attitudes. But
Excuse me, while I'm
but
reading
the
this
thing is,
alien, this
what I'm
robot.
liking about Pulaski in this rewatch is they give her more to do in that season than they give Beverly to do in 6 other seasons.
They
That's
sure
true,
did.
Like
yeah.
Pulaski's,
Yeah.
there's actually a character there.
Mhm,
Like
yes.
even though it's just like a redone Bones, at least it's a character. Whereas Beverly's just like 2 lines that could be said by anyone in most episodes.
Mhm, mhm. Which is
So,
a disservice to
It is because she's
McFadden and to
funny.
the character.
Yeah.
Case McFadden is
Yeah, for
very
sure.
funny. Like in that season 1 episode where she's like the gangster one, and she's just like doing her makeup on.
Oh
and, like,
man,
she's
that's a great episode. Yeah.
Not to mention gorgeous, like
Oh, yeah.
heartbreaker,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
especially in that episode. Like she looks
That
great all the
episode.
time. Mhm.
But that
Oh, yeah.
episode for sure.
Yeah.
No, but she's definitely got that like femme fatale 1930s thing. Like just
Mhm.
yeah, so well done. Yeah.
It was like, you're a high class broad, and she's just like,
Is that good?
You want to go see Tommy Dorsey? Like,
Oh man.
but yeah, all right. Well, that's the space line.
Well, that was fun. I love that.
Oh,
Rapid
thank
fire
you for-
questions.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
go
running
check
our
all our
reboot.
first contacts. We hit all our first contact guests with this baseline to start things off, just to
Mhm.
give us a baseline to ask questions on. Because they're like, I'm a TOS guy. We know how to kind of tailor the conversation a little bit, and we are plain
Mhm.
simple tailors.
That's true.
So let's get out of here, shall we?
All right, shall we? And
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New
Oh
Year.
well, all right then. Happy New Year if we must. Okay.
Now you may.
Now I'm going to do it. And transmission.